The UEFA Champions League is upon us this midweek. In our focus today, we bring you preview of match day 1 of the Champions League. My name is Lendi Wei. The Italian side, European Cup winners in 1985 and 1996, take on the Dutch champions, who lifted the trophy in 1988. This is the Italians' first game against a Dutch club since the 2018-19 Champions League quarterfinals, when a 1-2 second leg defeat at home to Ajax confirmed a 2-3 aggregate loss. Juventus are making their 24th appearance in the Champions League proper, an Italian record, 3 more than AC Milan. PSV last faced Italian opponents in the 2018-19 Champions League group stage, losing 2-1 at home to Inter Milan before a 1-1 away draw. The Eindhoven club are without a win in their last 4 games against Serie A sides. This is PSV's 18th appearance in the Champions League proper, level with Ajax's Dutch record and a second in succession. Aston Villa's first game in the Champions League takes them to Switzerland to face a young boys side who are fast becoming regulars in the competition proper. While Villa are taking part in the European Cup for only the 3rd time, and the first in 42 seasons, their hosts have progressed through qualifying for the 4th time since 2018-19, although this is the first time they have achieved the feat in successive seasons. This is the team's first meeting. Bayern Munich kick off their campaign at home to GNK Dynamo. While Bayern are in the Champions League proper for the 17th season in succession, all of those campaigns extending into at least the round of 16, Dynamo are making only their 3rd appearance in 8 campaigns and finished 4th in their group in each of their last 7. Memories will be stirred when Milan host Liverpool. The English side produced a comeback for the ages to beat Milan on penalties in the 2005 final in Istanbul, and the Rossoneri claimed a measure of revenge with victory in Athens 2 years later. Semi-finalists in 2023, Milan are making their 4th successive appearance in the competition proper, while their English opponents, who claimed the last of their 6 European Cups in 2019, are returning to the Champions League, having reached the Europa League quarterfinals last season. Real Madrid begin their defense of the Champions League at home to a Stuttgart side returning to the competition for the first time in 15 seasons. Madrid claimed their record-extending 15th European Cup at Wembley on June 1st, and are now looking to extend their record of having always reached the competition's knockout round on every appearance. Stuttgart are making their 4th appearance in the competition proper, the previous 3 all coming in a 7-season sequence between 2002 and 2010. This is the team's first meeting. Sporting CP and Lille return to the Champions League with a meeting at the Estadio José Alvalade. The Portuguese champions are making their 3rd appearance in 4 years, having spent 2023-2024 in the Europa League, while Lille last featured in the Champions League in 2021-2022, when they reached the knockout stages for the 2nd time. Bologna's first Champions League game pits them against experienced campaigners Shakhtar Donetsk. The Italian side are taking part in just their 2nd European Cup campaign, and get underway against the Ukrainian champions, who reached the Champions League quarterfinals in 2010-2011, and have featured in all but one of the last 15 campaigns. This is the first game between the clubs and Bologna's first fixture against a team from Ukraine. Sparta Praha's first game in the Champions League proper in 19 years pits them against Salzburg, who have become regulars in the competition in recent seasons. Club Brugge returned to the Champions League with a home game against Borussia Dortmund, the 3rd time the teams have been paired together in the last 7 seasons. Dortmund reached a 3rd European Cup final last season, losing a 2nd decider at Wembley, this time against Real Madrid, and are in the competition proper for the 9th successive season, reaching the knockout stages in 5 of the last 6. Celtic's 3rd successive appearance in the Champions League proper pits them against Slovan Bratislava, who are making their competition debut. This is only the 2nd time the Scottish side have featured for 3 consecutive campaigns, and their 13th appearance overall. They are looking to reach the round of 16 for the first time since 2012-2013. Slovan have come through all 4 qualifying rounds to reach the new league phase, and are the first club from Slovakia to feature in 14 seasons, and just the 4th overall. Match day 1 of the 2024-2025 Champions League brings a repeat of the 2023 final as Manchester City welcome Inter to northwest England. City claimed their first European Cup with victory against the Nerazzurri in Istanbul 2 seasons ago, and now begin their attempt to regain the trophy with a fixture against the same opponents. While the English side have reached the knockout rounds in the last 11 seasons, and the quarterfinals or better in all of the last 7, Inter are making their 7th successive Champions League appearance, although that 2022-2023 campaign is the only time they have progressed to the last 8 or further since 2011. Paris Saint-Germain's latest attempt to claim a first European Cup kicks off against Champions League debutants Girona at the Parc des Princes. While the French side, runners-up in 2020, are making their 13th successive appearance in the competition, and have reached the round of 16, or better every season from 2013 onwards. Girona are not only playing their first Champions League game, but their first ever European fixture. Match day 1 brings together 2 former European champions as Crvena Zvezda face Benfica in Belgrade. The Serbian side lifted the trophy in 1991, while Benfica triumphed in 1961 and 1962, and have since lost a further 5 finals. Crvena Zvezda had to wait until 2018 to feature in the Champions League proper, but are now making their 4th appearance in 8 seasons. Benfica, meanwhile, have made it this far for the 4th consecutive campaign, and have featured in 14 of the last 15 seasons, although they have reached the knockout stages only 5 times in that run. Runners-up in last season's Europa League, Bayer Leverkusen returned to the Champions League with a trip to Rotterdam to face Feyenoord. The German side are making only their 3rd appearance in 8 seasons in the competition proper, and are looking to build on their historic 2023-2024 campaign in which they claimed the Bundesliga title, the first in club history, without losing a game, and also lifted the DFB Pokal. Leverkusen's sole defeat last season came at the hands of Atlanta in the Europa League final in their penultimate fixture. Their Dutch hosts are making a 2nd successive appearance in the Champions League proper for the first time since 2002-2003, and are aiming to reach the knockout rounds for the first time. Europa League holders Atlanta step up to the Champions League, returning to the competition with a home game against Arsenal. The Italian side are in the Champions League for the 4th time, having featured for 3 successive seasons between 2019 and 2022, 2 of those campaigns extending into the knockout stage. Arsenal ended a 6-season absence from the Champions League in 2023-2024, when they made it as far as the quarterfinals, the first time since 2010 they had progressed beyond the round of 16. This is the first fixture between the teams. Champions League regulars Atletico de Madrid and Leipzig kick off the new league phase at the Estadio Metropolitano to get their campaigns underway. Atletico are making their 12th successive appearance in the competition, and reached the quarterfinals in 2023-2024, the 9th time in that 11-season sequence they had made it to the round of 16 or further. Leipzig are featuring for the 6th season running, and also reached the knockout rounds in the most recent campaign. They have featured in the round of 16, or further in 4 of those 5 seasons. Monaco returned to the Champions League after 5 years away with a home game against Barcelona. The French side have not featured in the competition proper since making their 9th appearance in 2018-2019. Their Spanish visitors, meanwhile, last missed out in 2003-2004 and returned to the knockout rounds in 2023-2024, having been eliminated in the group stage in each of the 2 previous seasons, although their campaign was eventually ended by French opponents. History will be made at the Stade du Redourou in Guingamp, as Brest play their first ever European fixture at home to Sturm Graz on match day 1 of the Champions League. The French side secured continental football for the first time in their history with a memorable Ligue 1 campaign last season, and begin their Champions League challenge at home to a Sturm side, who have made it this far for the first time in 24 years. The Austrian club are featuring in the competition proper for the 4th time, having enjoyed a stunning campaign of their own last season, ending Salzburg's domestic dominance with a league and cup double. May the better sides win. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.